Hello everybody, and thank you once again for joining me for this here video. I want to start diving into some of the new decks, and this video is going to be all about Rythym of the Wild. My name is Justice, my handle is Sarcantuna. Please remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff for the future content that is yet to come. As I said earlier, today we're going to look at some Gruul mechanics. I've been playing with this, I've got some Riot, I've got some Gruul going on. And what I really want to look at is this guy right here, Rythym of the Wild. Ideally, before I go off and make a bunch of these, like, I've got two more before I have a full play set of them. And Riot does stack, so you could, in theory, play 4 of these. But my initial testing of this card and this deck type has shown this to be a little slower than I want it to be. So what I've put together is like a basic Gruul deck. So here's the deck type I'm playing with. Okay, 2 shocks, 1 red, 2 damage, right? 4 adventurous impulses. I really want to get to my creatures, particularly late game. The risk with adventurous impulse in this deck is that I cycle through Rythym of the Wild, and then I don't get to see how it would play out, like in the space. But it lets me look at the top 3 cards and put a land or a creature into my hand, which I like. I've got 4 lightning strikes. This is like removal or damage to face if I need to, so 2 for 3. 2 Merfolk Branch Walkers. This helps you get through land. Explorer is better than Riot. I'm just gonna say it. Explorer is very strong. Riot's cool. When Explorer and Riot start to stack with each other, though, something magic happens, and it works really well. You do have to pick your Riot. So if you have Rythym of the Wild down, Branch Walker has to choose Riot and then it Explores. So you can't wait till the Explorer effect triggers or not and then choose Haste or another counter, which is unfortunate. I'm running Collision Colossus to remove some flying and or give a creature trample. The Colossus part of this is huge. 4/2 and trample is dope. I like Zerta Goblin, 2 casting 2/2 with Riot, so it's either 2 casting 3/3 or 2 casting 2/2 with Haste. It's really good. Really good. 2 Rythms of the Wild. Again, I just don't have 4, otherwise I would run 4. Just to see how this card works, because it's super badass on paper. You know what I'm saying? Like in theory, this would be the best card ever. It's cool because your creatures can't be countered. It's super anti-control. But the reality is, these control decks we're seeing can let you have all the creatures you want and just play Kaya's Wrath, and then all your creatures go away, and then you're kind of stuck. So. This deck has no protection in the current meta, and it's old school. It's lining them up and turning them sideways, but it's kind of fun. I've got 2 Rekindling Phoenixes because they're flyers. This is my only flying defense or flying attacks, and if they can trigger a Riot, they get a little bigger. Although I like these the Riot effect of Haste because they're kind of weak and they get killed pretty easily, and then they come back. Gruul Beastmaster, this is a pseudo kill card. So awesome. When Gruul Beastmaster attacks, another creature you control gets +X/+O until end of turn, where X is Gruul Beastmaster's power. Okay. These stack. So if you have 3 Gruul Beastmasters out and you attack with 3 Beastmasters and one Rekindling Phoenix, okay? Beastmaster A gives Beastmaster 2 more attack, which makes that Beastmaster 2 a 4/2. It's got power 4. Then Beastmaster 2 gives Beastmaster 3 4 more power. Then Beastmaster 3 would be a 6/2 and then Beastmaster C can give you a Rekindling Phoenix. This would be a 10/3 Phoenix when it attacks. So they stack and they can jump, which is kind of cool. But again, it's a little slow. So now we're talking about an 8th turn victory. It's just slow. It's not going to happen. It's a pipe dream. It's kind of cool to think about, but it's not likely at all. I've got Domri in there. I love Domri. He's super cool. I like the idea of Domri. Not all that effective. As +1 is adds a red or a green mana, and if you spent that on a creature, it gains Riot, which is cool. Otherwise, it's just regular ramp, which is kind of neat. And then the -3 is to look at the top 4 cards of your library, and you can reveal 2 creatures from among them and put them into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. And it's -8 as you get an emblem with at the beginning of each end step. So every turn's end step, you get a 4/4 red and green beast creature token with trample. So it's kind of cool. But slow and not super effective. He's a target for removal, so that's something. But But Domri by himself, aside from the riot effect for creatures, isn't all that terrific. Vivian Reed is great. 5 casting, all green. Well, 2 green and 3 colors. But I mean, it's all green. She, for +1, you look at the top 4 cards of your library, of course, and then you can reveal a creature or a land, and it's revealed now. Then you can put the rest on the bottom of your library. Yeah, Domri also reveals them. So they both reveal creatures. And then Vivian's -8 is you get an emblem with creatures you control, get +2/+2, and have vigilance, trample, and indestructible. That's a game-winning ultimate right there. Domri's isn't such a game ender. They're only 4/4s. They don't fly. They just trample, which isn't bad. Except they're still susceptible to dying, which I don't like. I wish they had indestructible. You got a 4/4 red and green beast with riot and indestructible. That would be cool. Where are we at? 3 Carnage Tyrants. Good old 6 casting. 7/6 with trample and hexproof and can't be countered. And with any luck, it comes out on turn 5 with haste. That would be awesome. That's kind of the goal with Domri, with Carnage Tyrant. And the other part of this is that I want cards that are also just good by themselves, so I don't have to have Domri out to see, because the way I do this is that I don't want to have to make 4 Domris just to see if he's any good. To me, that's a waste of wild cards, when there could be so many better options for us to spend our wild cards on than just going full bore on something that we think is going to be kind of fun. This deck, if this works, it's going to be super fun, but it's super slow. I've included 2 Banefires just to eat up that mana and the ramp that we end up running into later on in the game. You know, it's good against control. Hopefully the games don't last that long, though. We should get killed or kill fast enough. 9 mountains, 10 forests. I've only got 1 Rootbound Crag, 4 Timber Gorges. They're tap lands. I don't have any of the new ones. So that's what I'm rolling with. I could have used Gruul Guild Gates, I guess, but I'm just rolling with these for now. Again, this is more of a concept. This is my Gruul concept deck, so let's play it a few times, and we'll see if we can't trigger some of those, either the Rhythm of the Wild. That's really what I've got my eye on. I got my eye on Domri. See what we can do in terms of either getting smaller creatures out that we didn't think, you know, would be good late game. So like a Zertog Goblin, for example, all of a sudden comes out and riots twice. That's kind of cool. Alright, let's see. Okay, so there's 3 lands, Zerta, Collision, and 2 Adventurous Impulses. I like this. I'm going to hang on to it. I'm not sure if I really like Adventurous Impulse in here, but see, and we just kicked out a Rythym. See that? So I don't think I'm in love with that idea. I'm going to take the mountain. I don't need the tap land or the dual lands at all. But I can get through another 3 cards with the other Adventurous Impulse. Oh, we're playing up against another Gruul deck. Maybe they'll have more options than we do. I like counters more than haste. Unless it's late game. Okay, so we're doing the exact same thing. Alright, let's do Adventurous Impulse. We'll grab the Phoenix. And that's revealed, right? He knows what I got? Yeah, they're always revealed. Colossus is an instant, but I'm going to hang on to it. I'm going to attack. He knows I've got a Phoenix, so he's probably going to think about blocking. I'm going to let him die. That might not have been smart, but we'll see. Remember, it's all about the concepts. And I'm going straight into my Phoenix. And the only ramp we're running is Domri. Oh gosh, he's got all this. Okay. And I'm going to block, of course. My Phoenix dies, but I don't care unless he's got a shock or something. Or he might be removing it. I have to be okay with that. Yep. Do some Vivian action here. See, and we'll start cycling through the deck a little bit, and as long as I don't kill my own, Rhythm of the Wild. But you see, if I had a Rhythm of the Wild, or if he did Growth Chamber Guardian is strong too. Really should mix some of those in. Let's go with a Carnage Tyrant right away.
Come to me.
Grab a Zerta. Cool. And then these two can go down next turn. They both riot. Yeah, we'll block a Growth Chamber. He'll probably combat trick this one. Yeah. Big deal. Those will both be 3/3s. And we'll have to get him out there. This feels like it's working too well at this point. And I think against any other deck, like if there's a lot of black in the meta right now. So he shocks Vivian Reed to keep her from getting the 8th counter, which is a little early on his part, but that's okay. No attackers yet. I'm going to save it as a blocker. And I'm going to save my shock, maybe, and shock the... Okay, so check this out. In response to the Explorer, we shock the Jade Light. See that? She dies. He does get to explore one time, gets a land. Oh, he gets both. The Spellbreaker. Okay, so check out the Spellbreaker. Let's take a look. It's got Riot and Trample, and as long as it's your turn, Gruul Spellbreaker, and you have Hexproof. So it sort of acts like a mini... what's her name? The White Angel. You know what I'm talking about.
Comes.
Oh, there goes Domri. Okay, so we cycled through Domri by accident. That's okay. Our Folk Branch Walker goes down. We get to explore. Alright, so let's do some business. We're going to give this Gruul Spellbreaker haste. We've got enough for a Colossus or a Lightning Strike. We're going to go ham. We're going to all attack 4 attackers. Okay, check this out. This Beastmaster is going to give this Beastmaster 3. Then this Beastmaster is going to give our Carnage Tyrant 5. So this will be I did it backwards. I did that backwards. Rats. He just takes it all? Are we saying that's game? Yeah. Well, so we won that game without having to worry about Domri or Rhythm of the Wild. We actually cycled through Rhythm of the Wild by accident. Shalai, Voice of Plenty. That's what Spellbreaker acts like. You see what I'm saying? Like, just if we just play good cards in general, it tends to work out, even if we're not doing Rhythm of the Wild. Rhythm of the Wild turn 3, maybe with a Llanowar Elf, but Llanowar Elves get munched on. Here we go. Ooh, what's with all the green? Should we risk it? I want to see what Domri can do on turn 4. Say we don't get another red mana source in 4 turns, which will happen. It's a virtual guarantee the way the mana screw has been going lately. Of course. So I'm going to stare at my removal spells here. Zerta really needs that red mana source. Domri can add red or green. Okay. Nope, we'll do Zerta. Yeah, here we go. We'll make him a nice blocker. This is pretty effective against mono white until he Conclave Tribunals my Zerta Goblin. Whatever. See, now here we go. It's a good example of the shenanigans, right? So Lightning Strike target is Benelish Marshall. And then we're slowed down a whole other turn. No, I'm not blocking. That's fine. I can afford to take an additional 3. Lightning Strike on the Marshall. I've got no answer for History Benalia. None. Yeah, boy, I don't know. This is just too slow. Well, my opening was a little too slow. This is gonna be ugly. There's 2 Vivian Reeds. Even if I had a Rhythm of the Wild down, wouldn't matter. He's got the Venerated Luxodon down, turn 4. That's terrific. This is a perfect hand for for mono white. Holy cow! Come on, let's do it. I don't know why. He's not all that scary. He's almost worth letting him live. I mean, he's at 2. Let him live for a while. Who cares? I've got enough mana to cast everything I would need. Yeah, we'll block the Hunted Witness just to get that counter off of him. Everybody else makes it through, and we... Holy crap.
No! Yeah. Put me back in!
Okay, here comes a Gruul Beastmaster down. There's no point in doing this. So it's a little too slow versus, and this is where what I've been seeing all day. It's a little too slow versus good aggro. Come on. You should, yeah, there we go. Good. I'll let him have it. Pride of Conquerors. I think this gets replaced by the new one. Negative 39. Holy crap. It's just against critical mass decks, you're going to fail all the time. There's no amount of Rhythm of the Wild would even help us with that. Domri's not going to help us with that. This is not a very defensive deck, nor is it fast enough to even work. But even Growth Chamber Guardian, maybe with the Adapt, but that takes 3 mana on turn 3 at the earliest. This is a mulligan. Opponent goes first. We'll rely on the Scry to hopefully get a green mana source. Sorry, Branchwalker, you gotta go. This hand would have actually been better against that deck that we played. Okay, so if this is... Okay, Simic, we can deal with that. Because we could have, removed some of the early creatures, and then he wouldn't have gotten so many buffs with the Venerated Luxodon. All we're gonna get is mountains. I've seen this movie before. All we get are mountains, and then we die. Well, no, okay, Gates Ablaze? No, not too many gates. Oh boy. Mountains and Adventurous Impulses. This is terrific. It'd be good if we had a green mana source, we could just use them and get some. Red, blue, white, green. 4-color deck. He's got all the colors he needs, too. He's going to have all the removal. There we go. If he counterspells this, that'd be hilarious. You gotta be shitting me. Okay. This is how it's going to go down. Okay. All right. Alright, if this goes too long, like Control is set up to beat this deck at this stage. The one anti-control card that we have in here is well, we've got Carnage Tyrants though. Carnage Tyrants are nice. I'll grab another Timber Gorge just in case we need one later. They come in to play tap, it doesn't much matter. I got all the mana I need. And I'll be able to play it and then not have to draw into it again later. I can play the Mountain and then play Carnage Tyrant if I don't forget in 20 seconds and then play the Timber Gorge by accident. I have done that before. Nothing is more frustrating. He's gonna start taking his extra turns here pretty soon with no, you can't counter it, okay. I gotta say, he's lucky he's playing against this deck that I have. This is like one of the slower decks, and this is what I've been finding with at least the Gruul cards that I have, or the way I'm playing this. It just ends up being a slower deck than I want, and it's leading me towards mixing in some of the Gruul beaters with like mono red burns, almost with skewers, with light up the stage, shock, lightning strike, and Vaishno Pyromancer, and then some Gruul on top of that. So you got a 2/1 Pyromancer, and then comes the Beastmaster, and your Beastmaster makes the Pyromancer a whole lot better. Should we? We got to start. I mean, I know he's got 100 counter spells in here, right? We got to draw them out somehow. Let's do it. He's either going to take 7 or counter Domri. I don't think he has enough mana to do both. Okay, so he doesn't care if Domri gets played.
No accord, no peace.
Don't tell me my go. You're playing control. Really? How rude. So he just riots. We are going to go with haste and a little bit of hope. See how we got to choose the haste from the riot first, and then of course it's a forest. I should have seen that coming. So he really wants to exile my Carnage Tyrant. Okay. I find it super annoying when people tell me that it's my go. I know full well that it's my go. And if you're going to play a control deck and try and make me hurry up, oh, the irony is for real. Is it Guildgates, Clifftop Retreats? This is a strange deck. Alright, we're going to go ahead and mute him. Let's see, should we attack? Or do we play around, settle the wreckage? Part of me thinks we shouldn't attack. Like we should. Well, now we're going to attack for sure. Okay. And he had to discard a gate for that too. So he's got plenty of gates. Right, I chose haste. Alright, a root snare. That's fine. I've got Banefires. May as well start shocking. What's his removal for Domri? Oh, Conclave Tribunal, right? There's no answer for enchantments in this deck. So maybe we add some enchantment removal in the form of creatures. Either the dinosaur that does it, or Elvish Rejuvenator, not Rejuvenator, but like Reclamation Sage. That might be an okay idea. Of course, he's probably got Banefires too.
A little pick me up before the real fun begins.
Gonna get a red. Well, he's gonna prevent all the combat damage, isn't he? Oh, no. Okay. We'll hit him for 3 more. He's got to rejuvenate, maybe. All right. Maybe he's not really trying to win. Which would be kind of weird. I'd like to see how this deck does against control. It's kind of has a kill card versus control, but it never comes up. And if you do run 4 of them, they'll stack. You know, the Rhythm of the Wild, that is. But when I do get a Rhythm of the Wild, like in my opening hand, okay. Wonder if he's looking for that Settle the Wreckage or Cleansing Nova. He's got the mana for a Cleansing Nova right now. Still has the mana for it. I'm going to save my burns. We're going to grab another mana just to get the ultimate, just to get the pip up. I'd like to look for more creatures, but if this sticks and I can get the -8 off, then I'll get a creature every turn. And then I can just attack every single turn with 2 4/2. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty dangerous for him. If Teferi comes down, he bounces Domri. Nothing I can do about that. If he handles him by way of Deputy of Detention or something, I could use a lightning strike, but then it resets the loyalty. So does Conclave Tribunal, resets the loyalty for him. Or this is the end of the game and I've effectively won against this weird 4-color control deck. He can't target Carnage Tyrant with anything. He's got tons of mana. He's got 11 mana. So he could seriously cook something if he's got Banefires or Gates Ablaze even might work. No, he doesn't have too many gates. Okay, fight with fire. Okay, he can't target Carnage Tyrant with that. So I'm going to do some nuke. Go for it. Totally fine with that. Any creature with Riot wins the game at this point. Any creature I have. What are the odds I draw a land? Oh no, you killed all my dudes. That's terrible. Of course. Of course. Okay. Unbelievable. We had an opening. We drew a forest. And another land. And the reason I'm playing them, sometimes I like to hold them, but I want them down in case I draw into a Banefire. Which would be a Banefire for 10. Uncounterable, unpreventable. Die. Root Snare will not save you from a Banefire. Oh boy. This is insanity. 4 lands in a row. Let's keep track. There's Teferi. Here comes the Nexus of Fates. If I get another turn and I happen to draw a decent card, maybe we could win this thing. 5 lands in a row. Unbelievable. Plus the lands I put on the bottom of my graveyard due to Adventurous Impulse. That's fine. I still have 38 cards in there, so this game may not go our way anymore. Why wouldn't it be a Phoenix? So he's going to eat a counterspell. We'll just let that happen. This is ridiculously stupid. Wilderness Reclamation. I cannot believe this is even a card. But it's like they said, you know what? You know what Turbo Fog needs? The ability to untap all lands at the end of your end step. That'd be great. So you could do on turn 5 now, you could do, this is crazy. This is crazy for him. He is super flooded, but he's got his Cant out. This is great. He's going to dig, and then you untap, and then he can dig again. It's great. And these stack, too. Wilderness Reclamations. This is going to be a lesson in how to print cards that should never be printed. Here they go. And now he digs again. Well, he may not. I would, but he may as well. I can't believe we haven't seen a Nexus of Fate yet or anything quirky like that. So if that Domri's ultimate ability would have gone off, we probably would have won this game by now. That's kind of kind of encouraging in terms of the power of Domri. And we still haven't seen a Rythym of the Wild. Fight with fire, tend to me. Okay, that's not great. And then he untaps. He can't. It's a sorcery, right? So he can't do it in his end step. But he can. Unbelievable. That is unbelievable. So I'm going to attack first. I'm not going to riot. I'm going to put the counter on him. And we're going to either he gets eaten up or root snare. Yeah. And then the game. We would have won the game with a Zertog Goblin 6 turns ago without getting 5 lands and a worthless. Actually, the Phoenix would not have been worthless 5 turns ago. Whatever. Totally fine. Fight with fire to this right here. Fight with fire, we die. Bane fire, we die. Maybe he doesn't have it. Maybe he's looking for it. He did use 2 of them already, right? Yeah, only 2. So he's probably got 2 more in there. 2 more in his hand, hopefully, for him. Now he's still looking. There's the Banefire. Alright. Go for it, dude. Alright, or not. He's just going too slow. Okay. Well, I feel like that one was taken from us. Probably should have won that game, but we didn't. We'll do one more, and with any luck, we can see if Rythym of the Wild is actually worth it. I don't like decks that rely on just one card to win. Like Rythym of the Wild, for example, it looks like it's strong, but really, I have gotten it out before on turn 3 even. It's a removal target, and when it's not, it's just okay. It's not great. It's not all-powerful broken. So here's a Rythym of the Wild. And a Branch Walker on turn 2, so we can kind of use it to get... Okay, so this is the ideal draw right here. This is ideal for us. We're going first. We've got a Rythym in hand. We've got some creature removal and an early Branch Walker to try and get to that 3rd mana source. And our opponent's on the mulligans. Hopefully he doesn't quit so we can actually play this out. I'm going to go with a Mountain first, so I can shock a creature that if he plays a Llanowar Elf, I want it shocked. Or Gutter Bones. A Tin Street Dodger? I don't care about a Tin Street Dodger. Unless I do. Maybe he's going to teach me all about the power of the Tin Street Dodger. I don't see that happening, but maybe. Alright, so instead of... I'm going to Branch Walker. Because the odds of one of the next 2 cards being a land are just cool. There we go. Got it. So now I can Rythym of the Wild turn 3 and hope he doesn't have a Bedevil, which will destroy an artifact, creature, or artifact, creature, or planeswalker? No, my enchantments are safe. He cannot do anything about them. I'm gonna take the 1. Why do I care about... I don't care about Tin Street Dodger. There we go. So now we've got Rythym down. I can Adventurous Impulse for a creature. I can remove all his little goblins. I am going to save a Lightning Strike for a Taskmaster. I think he's running those, or maybe Judith. She's the Scourge Diva. He might be running those. I want to shock her when she comes out. Another Tin Street. Cavalcade of Calamity. That's hilarious. This is hilarious. Okay. Alright. How funny. So I'll lose my creature just to save the... Oh, unbelievable. Alright, so let's Adventurous Impulse. I think we go for a land for sure. Play the land. And then we'll have to double shock his little dudes here because I don't need to take 5 damage just from him attacking. So now we're on the hook for 2. And then when Beastmaster comes down, it's going to double riot, can't be countered. And then the game is on. Yeah, I get it, dude. I get what you're doing. The Calamity Weenie aggro deck. That's fine. We riot twice. So here's this is the speed factor I'm talking about. So we rioted twice with the Gruul Beastmaster. We had a turn 3 Rythym, and Beastmaster comes down, immediately eats a cast down, and now we're behind a few turns. I'm gonna have to use all my mana to kill these two guys with 2 lightning strikes. That's 5 damage. This is insanely dumb. Like, this would not fly in any other deck. What is happening? Hopefully these are 2 removal spells. This combined with, like, well, Judith wouldn't work because then they have power 2. So we have to do it this way and hope he doesn't get any haste. Why is it holding priority? He's got a shock or something. He should just do it. And see, this is what I've been seeing, where you get your Rythym of the Wild out, but it really has almost 0 impact on the board state. Jeez, we're dead. We'll make a 3/3 with haste and attack, and then die on his next upkeep. All he has to do is play Spawn of Mayhem. Game is over. Spawn of Mayhem is stronger than Rythym of the Wild. Oh, but he can't because he doesn't have the trigger. The trigger for this is unbelievable. This is what? I don't see this as a viable option. I really don't. I am seeing it in a few sideboards. Yeah, we'll attack. He just takes this and then he wins the game. Domri seems to be like a more powerful option. Although the dig for creatures has a -3 ability for him, that seems to be a little tough. I almost think that Gruul's place is going to be alongside like skewers, and that's what I'm going to put together. And I wanted to show you guys this to demonstrate how I got to that decision. So when I fall back on the experiment of Rythym of the Wild, this is what I'm talking about, where it doesn't seem to be like it's all that strong. Even when you get it out early, as was an ideal draw, 1 cast down ruins your deck. One murder, any removal, any a Conclave Tribunal if you're against white. Like, there's so much removal for that 1 card that you're relying on to win the game that I don't like this type of play style. So for me, it makes a lot more sense to combine this with like Mono Red Burn and then some riot creatures versus like a Gruul theme, where you're relying on creatures to do the heavy lifting. I think it's going to be all about some more help from red and smaller amounts of green creatures, and that's where I'm going to go next. So stay tuned for that. Do remember to like the video, subscribe, drop me a comment if you like playing Gruul or you have a different way of playing figured out. But for now, before I spend wild cards, this is sort of how I do it, and I wanted to show you guys that. So thanks so much for watching. Have yourselves a good night.